Hello everyone, it's Jackie from Pretty Paper Crafts. I'm just come on today to do this next tutorial. It's not too long, it's relatively easy, it's probably already out there. I just thought with just Miri card, dies and some bits to decorate it with, it doesn't need that many materials. You don't actually need the Miri card. You could just use ordinary colour card or any sort of mirror card, but it's what I chose to use in mine because, apart from one of them, because I particularly like it, and I've used butterfly dies. So this is what we're going to be doing. It is a fold flat, so you have your front of your card, it folds into an envelope, and then when it's opened, they would just open these up. You could put a little tiny slip in just to open the butterfly wings when they open it, but that's it. You can have it that way or you can have it that way. I make the card up like this and then I decide whether I want it that way or that way. So it's either an M or a W. One way or the other. It's all the same size. It's just your standard. I think in America, I think it's a C3 or I don't know. It's a 6x4 card anyway. Goes into a 6x4 envelope. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to go through some very simple instructions for you. You need one long piece of card, and to make this up, I've got A3, so I didn't have to make mine up, but I've given you the measurements up to the 11 there, and then this piece is 4.5. Hang on a second, let me just get this right. That says 4 inches, but I believe that is 4. Yeah, 4. So it's 4 inches, 3.5, 3.5, and 4. Don't know why I've got 4.5 there. I think it's because I was going to be doing it bigger and then changed my mind. So this is a standard. I've done it standard to accommodate the 11.5 inch UK size paper. So at least one sheet you can cut down through that way, and you can put that one, the 11 inch piece there and the 4 inch piece there, but you need a 1/2 inch. That's why it's 4.5 inch. I knew I'd done it for a reason. This one is cut 4.5 and it's scored at 1/2 inch for you to join it there and put it either on the back or the front, preferably whichever side you're going to do it. So just hold it together while you're assembling it so you can work out whether you're going to be doing the W, because if you're going to be doing the W, it's better for this to be held, this 1/2 inch one to be concealed underneath that. So, or if you were doing the W, then you would conceal it under that, whichever way you're going to be doing it. So yes, you might have to make a decision before, but just roughly put it together, or just use paper to start with until you've fully decided what you want. So that's going to be 11 inch by 5 3/4. That's going to be scored at 4, 7.5, and the 11, and this separate piece is going to be another 4 inches added on with your 1/2 inch overlap going underneath, and that's it. That is basically it on your card. There's your M and there's your W. Now the next part is the tricky part, and I will show you the ones that I've done wrong, just so you might be able to learn by my mistakes. But this is where you need to do your die cutting. For example, if you wanted, say for example, the 2 balloons in the middle, then you would put them there, and then you would die cut that through your machine. You can get it through a A5 machine. It doesn't have to be a great big machine, but you can put it through an A5 machine. I would suggest that you cover the rest with paper, just a basic sheet of paper, so it's not scratching the card, because you want this obviously to stay reasonable, even though you're going to be putting mirror card on it. Certainly when you put your mirror card on it, then you would need to cover it again for that reason. So I would decide what I was going to do first. I think I put the others away. I've just got this one out because I was using this for something. So that'll teach me to put all the dies away, won't it? Will I still need them? Anyway, so let's progress. So after you've decided there, you would die cut it. Now I know it's going back a bit, but I'm just going to show you where I went wrong. This one is a W card, and I die cut this around there. It was just going to be a flat wedding one. I die cut that round there, and then this is the silver sheet. Now this is an off-white back, so I would have had to cover that in white paper, otherwise it doesn't look right. So when I put this on the back, this silver card, because you just have your piece there is 3.5, so that would just be a 7-inch one scored down the middle. And then what I do is I just trim a tiny bit off, like 1/8 off of them together, just so you've got that tiny little bit for this to fold, because obviously it's going to fold. So just take a tiny bit off of each side. And then when you put that on there, what I tended to do is I used red liner tape on the back of this one, on all these bits here that are going to be sticking to the silver to hold it in place. And then I used a little bit of red liner tape around there, and then I wet glued it as well, because using the wet glue gives you a little bit more moving time. But when I put it together, instead of holding it like this and putting it together there, it buckled. There's a little tiny buckle there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but to, you know, if people don't know about it, then maybe it wouldn't be too much of a problem. But it was a problem for me, because that buckled, which means it buckled the next bit, and it was all buckled. So that's why I couldn't use that. So that's one that I messed up. And this is the second one that I messed up. Now this one was all looking good. It was, you know, I tore the paper here when I took the tape off that was just sort of holding the dies on there. I went to peel off. It should have come off, but it didn't come off without tearing the card. So it actually tore the card. Now, I could have probably put a little piece of red all the way around there, but I didn't. And I was going to, now with this one, I was going to cut a heart out of the same, because when you've got that middle piece done and you've decided what you're going to be doing, because that then is going to be the back of the card, I would have had to have covered that in white. Then you decide what you're going to do here. Now, that's the front of this card. Now, if you're doing the other card, the M1, that wouldn't be, you wouldn't have a front, because obviously it's going to be folded like that. But I'll show you when I show you one in a minute that I've done. This, as long as, well, I say as long as it's mirror image, both sides. But I don't think it actually needs to be, but it's far easier if it is mirror image because of this fold. So yeah, I've used mainly butterflies. Have I used butterflies? Yeah, I've got one other that's flowers, just to show what you can do. It doesn't actually have to be mirrored. But this would have been quite nice. And I would have done red, this red as a backing. And then cut this out and done this as the white showing through on here. So it was totally reverse colours. Because you're sort of reverse die cutting and then not reverse die cutting. So this one you would be using the reverse, this one you would be, the top would be the white and the other one would be coming through. So that's another no, messed that up. So that's your size again. It's just piece 1 or piece 2, so that's 11 inches by 5 3/4. And if you were going to score it, this would be 4 inches, because these two end pieces are 4 inches. Now, the reason they're 4 inches is because they close things in case you've got things hanging over, which you'll see shortly. So, and just decorate in reverse colour depending on what you've got going through. So that was it. So, if you get a problem, then go on to my Facebook group and you'll find my email address there and give us a message and I will see if I can help you. So this is the one that I shown you to start with, but because it is an M, it's got a front. Excuse me a minute, just blasted nose. Yeah, so it's actually got a front of the card, and that's that one. This is the one that I done, like I said, this is in a W. So this one is coming to the front, and then I cut these out of mirror card, and done those in the front. This one is a flower one. Now, because this is a W, that folds like that. For some reason, I actually put that over there. Now, that's not how it folds. I don't think that's too much of a problem doing a front, but normally you wouldn't do a front because it's got that on there. And I'm holding it upside down. No, I'm not. That is the right way up. So that's a flower one. That's there. This is another butterfly one. Trying to think of the best way of showing these. There is none. So this is a nice butterfly one again, and I just put a nice birthday verse on the front, nothing on the back. This one is just really nice. This, I think, is probably my favorite. This one is using my big butterfly. Again, a birthday verse on the front, nothing on the back. And because it's too big to go on these sides, I cut that complete from the card and then just cut half in the mirror card to match and put half on that side, half on that side, and use some pretty little shiny bits on there. That one is nice as well because I like that die. Now this one is a Christmas one. It could be a christening one, but I didn't have a verse for Christmas. Could be a wedding one if you put different decor on it. But there's a nice Christmas verse on there. And that's just a Christmas die. That one. I didn't think this one was going to look right with the church on both sides. Let me move that. I didn't think it was going to look right with the church on both sides. So I just done the church in the middle and put those little icicles on. There's somewhere to write on there or on the back. That's the wrong colour, you see. So before I could do anything with that, I need to put some white on there. Perhaps a bit of mirror card and some white on the top of the mirror card. So that's it now. That's today's one done. Next one is going to be a little bit longer because it's more of a card, but can be a centerpiece. So that's until next time. Have fun. Don't forget to show me your makes on my Facebook group, and I'll see you all next time. Bye then.